And the best and the greatest day to be alive is today. And welcome to the Wise Hour. I'm your host, J Melane, also known as Wise. Well, we be dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. Family, I tell you right now, I have a special guest I want y'all to listen to. Want to learn a little bit more about Black history and some of the things we did in the past. We're going to talk about this amazing book. So I want you guys to tune in and check this out. If you truly want to learn a little bit more about Black history, something that you probably have not even realized exists. So before we go into the show, this is what I need your guys to do. I need your guys to subscribe, hit the like button, and definitely share. Hey, we're a community here, and we want to go ahead and push this out so more people can find out more information that will be helpful for their lives. So, with that being said, family, I want to thank everybody who subscribe, who like and share, and also being a part of this community because we are here together. So, family, I ain't gonna hold you. Get your notepads, pencils, everything you need to do to record because this information is gonna be very beneficial to you. So, let's go into the show so we can go and actually had an interview with my special guest star. So, with that said, family, let's go.
At the Wise Hour, we break through the night, bringing knowledge fire, so hold on tight. Every episode, a story to unfold. We're turning every minute into gold.
Wow, I got amazing guests here. Cheryl W Brooks. She is the author of Chicken Bone Beach. And that right there should, get your interest going, make your brain Chicken Bone Beach. I guarantee you're going to learn a lot more. Just pay attention. But before we go into the detail of the book and everything like that, we want Cheryl to introduce herself. So, Cheryl, let everybody know who you are.
Hi, Cheryl W Brooks, and my career changed in 2016 when I became a published author of a book about a historical Black beach in Atlantic City called Chicken Bone Beach. So it all began with me looking for a thesis subject, and it just seems like there was divine intervention. Just small things happened, and the light bulb kind of went off. So I was visiting a friend in Philadelphia. We went into a gallery. They were showing an exhibit of black and white photos, and they struck our attention. And we went in and took a look at them, and thus the journey began. So as a student, I started to research the segregated beach as well as other segregated beaches across the United States. Since then, I have authored 5 books of my own. One is independent, the others are with Sunbury Press, and I've contributed to 2 other books. So a total of 7, all non-fictional. Um, so I have coined myself the literary mermaid and continue to make my mission to serve humanity by providing historical knowledge, in particular about Black beaches, because that's enough in one lifetime, in my opinion. And all things entertainment that encompass nonfiction work.
Awesome. Wow. See, y'all got to, I did not know about you have worked along in actually 7 books that you have been part of. 7, that's a perfect number, right? The number of
Yes, yes,
completion, that perfect number, you hit 7. I know you're going to do more than that because we got to hit the 8, that new beginning. So, but yeah, that's amazing. I only can imagine, like you said, if thought with an idea or a thesis, then you know what, it move on from that. But I got some questions to ask you that we're gonna dive a little bit deeper with that. So hold on. So we got some people who actually responded in the chat. We got Lakeisha Mosey. She said, "Greeting, King Wise and Cheryl W Brooks. Thank you for that." Then we
yes.
have Mary. Hey, Hey, what's up? What's going on? She said hello. So thank you very much. Make sure you guys, make sure you share to the community and bring more people in so they can learn more about this historical moments we're gonna be talking about today. So, all right now, I'm gonna ask my first question. So, Cheryl, can you share with us the moment you realized that writing and history was your passion and how these interests have shaped your professional path?
And that's how it was for me because as a child, uh, I started writing. And I wasn't even considering it as a career at the time. I was enjoying writing poetry and songs because that's where I started songwriting. So I remember reading the back of like one of my mom's magazines, the National Enquirer, and I submitted a song I wrote to some place on the back of the newspaper. And they sent back this contract. So my parents sat me down. I was about 12 and started to explain to me, importance of copyrights, yada yada yada. So that's where it kind of began. And then as a means of financing my college career, in some cases, I won essay scholarships. So in high school, I won an essay scholarship, Martha Holton Jennings. I got my MBA. I won another um, essay scholarship from the National Black MBA Association to help pay. So I kind of been riding along this writing path, but pursuing other skill sets in academia. So I didn't become involved in um, history till much, much later in my 40s. Um, and American Studies, of all things, is what I got my Master's of Arts in much, much, much later in life. And, I kind of, you know, it's funny how you plan your life and there God is right above you orchestrating everything just as he knew it should go. So that's why I say it's full circle. So much later in life, the whole history thing, it makes perfect sense now. And I didn't see that. Um, so that's kind of, yeah, the history came way, 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 way later in life. And the funny part, okay, the divine part is that I did not care for social studies from K through 12 or whatever because I noticed then the gap in history about my race and my ancestors. So I wasn't going to make bad grades because I wasn't that kind of kid and my mom wasn't having it. But it just was like in one ear and out the other. I took no interest. So I think I kind of swung it. It was coming back my way at some point in life. And that's okay. Everything makes sense much later. So I went off to undergrad and chose journalism as my uh, major and switched over to business. So
Very interesting. Now, I got a question that stemmed off the scholarship since you have been awarded scholarships for your essays that since high school, way back then. How have these recognitions influenced your confidence and commitment to writing and research?
I think those were little sprints thrown my way. I think those were sprints, those essays, um, because at some point I would have to write and research again, and it came in college. Those tools were very useful, and I grew up in the inner city, Cleveland public schools. Thank you, Jesus, for throwing me in like the excuse me, what do they call it? The honor classes, I don't know what I would have done in college. So I really think my ability to write a compelling opinion backed with research at a young age was very, very helpful. And I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, that's what I think those were early sprints in my life. Um, but no sooner than I got to undergrad, I had to write, I had to research. So it just kept going and kept going. Um, I think when you're doing what you love, you don't think about the time so much. So that's a really important thing I recognize now later in life too. I actually like doing those things together, writing and research.
See, I love that. Cause see, by what you saying now, this explain why you went into the book. Cause them little sprints you have there prepare you for, like you said, the divine intervention, that path that allow you to be able to create a masterpiece of a product. What I call Chicken Bone Beach. It for that book itself. So we want to take a deep dive in that real quick. So all right, what inspired you to write Chicken Bone Beach, and how did your approach to the research for this historical history of Atlantic City African American community?
Always love beaches. I think that's where it began. Before I discovered the pictures in Philadelphia, before I decided later in life to, go back to school, I always loved beaches. My grandmother was a lifeguard. She always would take my sister and I, near the lake, and there were beaches. So I kind of grew up loving being near water. So I think I carried that in my heart and it never left. So I think the love of beaches was deep in my heart, and somehow I got to, serve mankind, learning about it. Um, I used to love watching like those beach party movies as a little bitty kid with Annette Funicello, and I forget all those folks' names, but like Stevie Wonder would play his harmonica behind. I'd be in the living room doing the twist. Me and my sister, I wish I grew up somewhere like that. So yeah, it's just some of the things I was internally passionate about, but not necessarily pursuing in life. It came together. Um, so I think that's the deeper side of it. And I think when I saw the pictures in Philadelphia, uh, I had already determined that my thesis would have to be about my own racist history. I wanted to do something positive. I wanted to tell the world something amazing about us. And I could have picked a million things, but this fell into my hands and I ran with it. Uh, um, it just felt like ding, the light bulb went off when I was looking for a thesis, because I was on my way to doing some hip hop history stuff. Because I feel like I identify,
Come on now, you're talking my language there, but go ahead.
yeah, I identify as a hip hopper. So I don't follow the white demographics. I don't identify whatever that is, a Generation X. If you were born between, yeah, I'm not a baby boomer. I'm not old enough. I'm like the one under, whatever that is. So yeah, I'm a hip hopper. So my professors were saying hip hop isn't old enough. I said, yes, it is. It's a half a century old. They want me to go way, way back. That's old enough. So we'll see how that squeezes into my life. But so I was on my way of looking for a hip hop research topic when Chicken Bone Beach came my way, and as soon as I saw the pictures, they were beautiful and stylish Black people on the beach, and I ain't been getting to see no happy Black people in my whole academia. That's all I'm feeling when I see them. So I'm like, wow, where is this? Who are these beautiful people? It was it. I couldn't have asked for a greater opportunity. Seize opportunities, people, when they feel right. Seize them when they feel right. Um, and yeah, I just ran with it. All of this is it's when your heart's in the right place, it's bigger than you anyway. So
When your heart in the right place is bigger than you. Come on now.
this is different than me pursuing what I want. I'm supposed to be doing this, like how I thought about it.
Yeah, and you're supposed to be doing this, and that was saying your ability to research, your ability to bring out, I guess you say, different moments in time. That's what I like to say, and be able to bring it forth so others can to relate to it. So I ain't gonna hold, I'm gonna hold you to that hip hop one because what you did with Chicken Bone Beach is amazing. So only can imagine when you do book number 8, The New Beginning, how you can bring around hip hop and bring the matter, bring, I guess you would say, the culture to our eyes. So I'm looking forward for that. But I love, like you said, it's your heart and your passion to be able to pursue these things. So I want to make sure I share some comments because people are commenting on that. So we have Mary. We thank you for the comment, Mary. She said, love those movies. Life experiences make a difference. Come on now. All right, now y'all dropping 24 karat gold bars around here. All right, then Mary going ahead and says, "Oh, Generation S."
I know exactly where I was, what I was doing when I heard rap for the first time. It was on a Sunday in 1976, was it when that came out? And I was at a teen dance with my sister. And we were all trying to figure out, how do you move to this? And that's something how you can, I remember the moment.
See, mine's a little different because, like you said, you had the city experience. I am from the South, I'm a country boy at heart. But I remember when we had, y'all be laughing at me, when I got cable, when my mother got cable TV, and there was MTV, and I think it was MTV. I don't think it was VH1 when I saw it, but I saw the first video of Eric B and Rakim Pay in Full. It came in a late night session. I said, "Hold up, what this? I never heard this before." You know, of course, the rap game, but before that, with Run DMC. But the first time I saw that video, I was hooked in. That one when hip hop was fun. That when hip hop was fun, and I was locked in. You know, I didn't get the dance move. I didn't get stuff. I was just captivated, just looking at that video, like, wow, who is this? What is this? Let me get into it. Then after that, Yo and TV raps and all them things like that. So I feel you being a hip hop connoisseur. Oh my God, we got people responding. We want to make sure we give them recognition. She said, this is Lakeisha Moshe. She said, that is very important. Seize the opportunity when they are revealed to you. Great knowledge. That was saying, sure, dropping 24 karat gold bars in the place. And we have Rhonda Small. Hey, Rhonda, what's going on? She said, hello, thank you. And thank you for here to support. Make sure you like, make sure you share and subscribe. Rhonda, this is a community. So, you know what I'm saying, just building a community and sharing this opportunity. And we thank Cheryl for being here and talking about Chicken Bone Beach. So I have another question for you about that. So in your, well, I guess you said Chicken Bone Beach. You don't say that 3 times. Chicken Bone Beach was more than just a beach. It was a cultural and social hub for African Americans during segregation. Can you describe the impact of this beach on the community and the legacy of American history?
The segregation without studying the Black history of Atlantic City in totality. So from the inception of Atlantic City, Blacks were always there. They moved there as, a lot of them as freed slaves, or they served in the military when they finally, I think they let black men in the army first. And the community was very integrated, and Blacks and whites, early 1900s, lived commingled. It was the Jim Crow laws that pushed them to separate. So they have a really rich culture because they've been there from the beginning. Yes, there was still racism Um, and they did follow that part of the country, follow Jim Crow laws. They were a lot milder and subtle than the South. But there definitely were, clear divided lines, between how blacks were treated and whites were treated. Um, I talk about the population of Atlantic City, and um, by the 1940s, the blacks there had, uh, a 12% middle class population. They became strong um, entrepreneurs out of need because they could not utilize anything on the south side of Atlantic City. That was the white side. And there were a railroad was built right through that too. So people say the side of the tracks. Um, so they opened their own dental offices and doctors' offices and credit unions and drugstores and taxi services. They created their own board of trade and began to market uh, their small little corner of Atlantic City as a safe haven for blacks to vacation near the water. And in other parts of the United States, blacks were doing similar things. Um, so they were listed in the Green Book, the different businesses. They offered bed and breakfasts, so you knew there was somewhere safe to stay. There was someplace nice to eat. So word got around, and so people on the surrounding states like Virginia and New York and Pennsylvania in particular, because Philly is only an hour from Atlantic City, so it was a weekend thing. And I met people who they owned properties in Atlantic City, but they lived in Philadelphia. Um, so it became just well known, and entertainers had somewhere to perform. They had choices around the United States as well. So in various places, this was also happening. So of course, I can't study one particular beach without having at least a comprehensive understanding of all the other ones that I could find. And many people have revealed other ones to me as well. So it's definitely been kind of cool. So people like Sammy Davis Jr. became very popular, working on a regular in Atlantic City. And Atlantic City was like New Orleans, Bourbon Street ish, Las Vegas. It was wine, it was women, it was song. There were beautiful black churches there, but people did not take the initiative to preserve them. Please make sure your churches are preserving their property in your state. Anybody can look into it and bring it to, the servant leader's attention. I just want to put that out there as I look at these images of these beautiful, just magnificent Baptist, black, and Pentecostal, and different churches throughout Atlantic City that were black and strong, and the memory of them is gone. They were just tore down and made into something else. So I'm really kind of passionate about the historic preservation, in particular churches, because if you exist for a certain amount of time, I guess you have to check into it. Then you're preserved. If you've been there for whatever 25 years, whatever, that's most cases. Okay, I'm off of that. So yeah, entertainers just flock to a place like Atlantic City. They're never closed. And a lot of corruption. I looked at everything. Mobsters. They were another Chicago, and people don't talk. Well, people know now if you watch HBO's Boardwalk Empire, they had a little bit of Chicken Bone Beach in there. They were dealing with I don't know what he did, a black mobster guy, and I think they might have made reference at least to the north side, which is where the blacks live. But that kind of gets out of there. But yeah, Gangster City. So met interesting people, heard amazing stories. I went and took uh, oral history too, and this is kind of required as a part of my thesis. So I frequented Atlantic City for at least a year, going to various events and meeting people, interviewing people, from judges to professors to this sweet lady I interviewed, Mrs. Green. She was in her 90s and passed um, before I got a book deal. And I just, I feel honored that I got to catch her story, about her and her family, even though she didn't live to see it. And I also interviewed her son, and he's still alive. So he got to see it. He got to see his family in the book. So, I mean, yeah. So, um, who else? And they were so, I'm sorry, it was so much entertainment back then that Sammy Davis was doing 5 shows a day: breakfast, brunch, lunch, a dinner show, like a nine show, a late night show. They have places along the boardwalk. The whole building might just be a ballroom to dance. It was, um, the blacks mimicked what white Atlantic City was doing, and taking advantage of the fact that historically, um, there weren't a lot of other entertainment competitions yet. When they were at the height of their heyday in the early 1900s, I don't think Disney had been built yet, and um, and it was one other. Vegas wasn't, a gambling spot yet either. So, but then there was a deregulation of airlines in America, and people started to travel more. That gave people the ideal to build more entertainment type uh, economic, wealth in their cities. So that kind of took away from Atlantic City when people had more choices and could travel more freely. Then they thought if they went into gambling, that would, you know, sustain them, but not necessarily. So yeah, they have a very rich history, and the African Americans were very much the definition of community.
Wow. I love that. Like you said about community, and you just dropped some 24 karat gold balls on the historical standpoint. And I want to share some things with you that's in the comments. Then I'm going to share something else as well. So we got Val DeVoice. Thank you, Val, for joining us. And you say, great historical information, Cheryl. Nice. Then she also had a comment here. She said, "My mom left the Jim Crow South via Arkansas." So wow. And let me see the next one. Oh, Mary said, "I love this or history." You just talked about it. I'm talking about it right there. And then we're gonna go to, let me see, Mary again. This was important. We are always tearing down instead of persevering. Oh God, she's telling the truth. She is telling the truth so much, and you gave the charge to us. Make sure we take care of these things. Look into these things. Then we got another comment in from Lakeisha Mosley. Great inspiration interview, King Wise and Cheryl. Thank you so much. And what Cheryl was talking about is so amazing. So we're gonna I'm gonna share something real quick so she gets some point before we go into our interlude part of it. So wow, this is the cover of Cheryl book, The Chicken Bone Beach, and you see the amazing cover there. And it captured pretty much everything just from that first cover. So it's amazing. So those who are looking right now, this is the cover of that amazing book. And this, I'm going to share some photos, and this is a photo of we seeing ladies and one young child out there in the ocean water. They smiling. I think most of the photography is done by John Mosley. John
Yes.
Dublin Mosley. So I want to give him, props for doing these amazing. I think he did it from the 20s to the 60s, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think
You
the
can
20s.
also reference to the Charles and blocks of Central American Library at Temple University, which is where they are housed, and they are the owners of these images. I just,
Awesome. Awesome. And let me go because I want to share something right here. This is an amazing photo right there. Like the family unit. You see how they dressed at the beach back then? They got, the tie, the dress. Oh, fashion back then. And let me go forward and we see brother got his boat and the lady on the boat. So you know what I'm saying, we were doing the things back then. He had his boat and took the picture of that. Now I want y'all to be prepared for this. She just talked about Sammy Davis Jr. And you see that's a photo of him having a young lady up, holding up at that time. So he's enjoying the beach life. And then we got one more photo I wanted to share with y'all guys as well. This right here. Do y'all recognize the guy on the far corner over there with the hat on? I think we just celebrated his birthday in January, Martin Luther King. So, saying he was there celebrating and being there in the beach life as well. Cheryl, what's your thoughts about the photos I showed? Now, she got tons of photos in this amazing book, but I would love the few photos that I talked that's shown. What's your thoughts about them before we go and take a quick break?
I probably should have mentioned this or could have mentioned it the last time. When we talked about Atlantic City being a social hub, it was also a civil hub too. So the Blacks that were part of this board of trade they created, they began hosting events. So for years, one year they hosted a Democratic National Convention, uh, the Blacks in Atlantic City. They also hosted an event called Omega by the Sea. I believe they were doing that in the 50s. So yeah, they were so well known. They'd host big events, and influential people came to Atlantic City. Atlantic City, from the moment they decided to start building these huge hotels and businesses across the shore, the people came. I read that Prince Albert honeymooned in Atlantic City, just to show you in that 40 to 50-year period how they just really stood out. So a strong Black race and a large number of them is a great place for a politician to go, for a religious leader to go, for people in the civil rights movement advocacy groups to be. There's thousands of Blacks gathered on the beach. All the businesses in their little north side area were Black. The churches were strong. In like the early 70s, 60s, the church was that where you pulled the Black community into the political knowledge. That's where you educated them. So ministers would go to churches and be given a minute to say a few remarks, but that's how they made the connect too. So why wouldn't Dr. Martin Luther King be there if that's where so many influential Blacks and a strong Black-owned snippet of people are all gathered together? So that's why I think um, he was there. But the beach was known for, um, I say it was a Bourbon Street, but it was also a celebrity hub. You could be chilling on the beach in Atlantic City, and Muhammad Ali walk right by you. It was the place, as we've known much more history, like a Martha's Vineyard. People. Lots of Blacks came to Atlantic City from the 40s to the 60s because it was this beautiful Black owned North Side, just providing entertainment and a beautiful backdrop, and it was safe. So it was a large gathering hub. Yeah, if you're Black and you're trying to get something going, that might have been the spot to be at. I'm gonna tell you, in Atlantic City's Black high school, I think it was called Atlantic City High School. every year, Mahalia, I forgot the period I read, but Mahalia Jackson came there and sang, for the first day of school. Yeah. Remember the father from the Fresh Prince, God rest his soul, I can't think of his name. He grew up in Atlantic City, and the lady that passed, that I interviewed for the book, she was his teacher when he was a kid. Yeah.
Wow.
And I read he came back from Los Angeles for like her 80th birthday party or something. So and she might have had him in elementary school. So, it's a special kind of people, special kind of energy. I think people had hope, and Black people seem to have looked out for one another. And yes, they were dealing with racism, but they were creating Black dollars. So out of necessity, they're an early demonstration of, once we had our freedoms and had begun to create Black universities, what you didn't do for us, we figured out how to do for ourselves. I interviewed a former judge, I think he's retired now, Judge Nelson, and he wrote a book called The North Side. So I read his book from cover to cover, because to me that was like the Black encyclopedia. It just wasn't written by one of us, but it was written out of with much integrity. And so I have a great deal of respect for him. I told him, I said, in these times, right, like in the mid 1940s, with racism still being an issue in America, because it was, and we're still divided. And I said, how did this type of cooperation happen in a city without any pushback? What do you think? And he told me he thinks because it was such a small town that if the Black people suffered, then white Atlantic City suffered as well. So they kind of said, we're not going to help you, but we're not going to stop you from creating your own ways to make it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's deep. I love what you're sharing with us. And this should be inspiring each and every one of us, those who are listening live and those who's going to listen later on the replay. This should inspire you to go and check and research and find more about our history. It's American history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not just Black history, it's American history. And come on. Woo, you got me inspired. So I'm just praying that everybody who listen here will go out to their you got the internet right there. You have your local libraries. You have places to go to get information. Get this information, and don't be greedy. Just keep it to yourself, but be willing, like Cheryl did, to share it with everybody else. Cheryl, we're not done. We're gonna take a quick break, then we'll come and going to ask a few more questions before we end the podcast. Hey everyone, this is a quick interlude right here. Hey, I got a sponsor, got a message for you, so check it out.
Speakers, entrepreneurs, professionals, doctors, and lawyers. We are excited to invite you to join Dr. Anthony D. Shannon, that's me, to what? Leaders Live Generously Summit. It's a premier virtual event taking place on February the 17th, 18th, and 19th, 2025. This 3-day summit is crafted to inspire, equip, and empower visionary leaders like you with the information, strategies, and inspiration to win in 2025. At Leaders Live Generously Summit, you'll have the opportunity to transform your leadership, gain insight and practical tools to break through limiting beliefs, soar in your industry, receive cutting-edge strategies that will set you up for success in 2025. We want you to thrive in 2025. Connect with community of like-minded leaders who are committed to living and leading generously. This summit is your chance to come alive and step into your next level of influence, next level of impact. Don't miss out on this transformative experience. Join us and thrive in 2025. To register, go to leaderslivegenerouslysummit.com. We look forward to seeing you soar in your leadership in 2025.
All right, fam. You do not want to miss this experience. So definitely register today. Go to the website and go ahead and follow, join, whatever you need to do, because this opportunity would change your life. So we are thankful for Dr. Anthony D. Shannon for providing this information for us. So, of course, you know what he's doing. He's dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. So, family, that's the end of this interlude. So we're going back to the show. This is just a little bit. It's so much detailed information in this book. And Cheryl, we appreciate you doing this. Now, I got one more question for you, okay? All right. Define the word life and what life means to you.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You just don't know. You guys just dig in and try one. Yeah, life is a roller coaster ride. Yeah, just fasten your seatbelt. Yeah, life for me is, I guess since now I've been on this journey long enough to see joy and sorrow and good and bad, and fashions repeat themselves and music trends come back. I think we're ever changing. So life is a lot easier if you just go with the flow, which is why I mentioned the box of chocolates and because one day everything will be sunshine, and then sometimes it's rain, and sometimes it is struggle, sometimes it is pain. So it's the human experience to experience different emotions, but you don't appreciate them when you're going through them. That's why when you're a baby, you cry about everything that don't go your way, right? Everything. No. Yeah, life is a journey, and I say, since I like to pose, challenge yourself to be the best version of yourself that you believe you can be. Because whatever that is, God thinks 10 million times more of you. Yep, go ahead, leap.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Leap, everybody, leap. Life is a journey. Life is a journey. And while we own this journey, we go, like you said, ups and downs. But while, I'll go back to the beginning, go ahead and take a box of chocolate with you as well when you go on this journey. But life is what, like you said, it has its journey, and it's up to us to be willing to take that leap. So we thank you. We thank you for sharing that. One more thing. How can people find you? So tell everybody where they can find Cheryl W Brooks.
So, and please follow me. I am on most social media sites as Cheryl W Brooks, just like we have it in the chat. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on whatever this new Twitter is. Till as long as it's here, I go with the flow. I gotta go where the people go. I ain't gotta be of the world to be, in it. And my website is Cheryl-W-Brooks.com. Please buy my book there, and you'll get an autographed copy.
Let me do this again one more time for everybody. And you do get an autograph signature because you go to her website. Go to her website. She mentioned all of the links will be in the description. So, so you can definitely check it out, click on it, and actually purchase this wonderful book for your investment in yourself. You're not buying it just for Cheryl. You're buying it for investment in yourself. I truly believe that. Cheryl, it's an honor. Thank you very much. So, okay, family, was that 24 karat gold bars dropped indeed? We want to thank Cheryl W. Brooks for coming in and dropping the gold bars. And definitely go to her website and order a copy of her book today. I got mine, so I want you to get yours as well and get some more historical information. Also, family, this is the Wise Hour. I have a book. The book is The Entire Where. It's a memoir about my life, but it's more than that. It's a book that actually talk about the challenges of childhood, dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety, dealing with other things, and how we can win in this process. So you get a chance to see the steps I had to take in life to be able to come to the point where I win. And I guarantee you, it will allow you to reflect on your life and you see how you can win in your life as well. So definitely go to the website and go ahead and order your digital copy today. Also, family, I have a merch line. So go to this website and you can order yourself a wear t-shirt, understand where you are. Also, we got some we call 24 karat gold bar t-shirt for men and women as well. You can choose many different colors from there as well. So definitely go there. If you want to support the channel, that's the best way to support the channel. All right, family. Love is an action word. While you're taking the time to love yourself, make sure you show love to someone else. You have an amazing weekend and looking forward to seeing you on the next The Wise Hour. All right? Take care and peace.
Every day we walk this road, a labyrinth of paths untold, searching for our place in road, finding strength down in our soul. Challenges we face head on, through the night until the dawn. Gonna keep on holding strong in this dance where we belong. Manhood's journey we pursue, finding out what's really true. Through the highs and through the lows, every day our courage grows. In the mirror see the test, gotta give it all our best, In this life that we've been blessed, heartbeats pounding in our chest. Step by step and hand in hand, growing wiser where we stand. In this labyrinth of men, we'll create our own grand plan. Breaking chains and breaking through. In this maze we find our view. Each new day a challenge met. Manhood steps we won't forget. Breaking chains and breaking through. In this maze we find our view. Each new day a challenge met.